Hi, I'm Desiree, and this is part 3 of a 4-part series, all focusing on our center. So what I mean by our center, or part of it would be the core, but I'm talking a bit deeper and broader than just the abdominals. I'm talking even the deep transverse abdominals, the obliques, the muscles, the multifidus, the muscles that run along the spine, and then going down to the adductors and the abductors and the pelvic floor. So this series, or this video, is going to be incorporating balance. We're going to be incorporating engaging all those muscles while we move through some balancing poses. So you may need some blocks, you may need a wall, or you may be fine without any props whatsoever. Try to follow along as best as you can, and I'll try and offer up as many modifications as I can along the way. One thing I want you to think of, so the movements that we're going to be moving through, so we're going to be starting in a neutral spine position, right? Or we may, in yoga, we may most familiarly know this as Tadasana, mountain pose. So with that being our base of all of these movements, right, through each shape, I want you to find that movement there, right? And then we're going to incorporate some movement off of that shape, right? So the neutral spine is going to be our base today, and we're going to see how far, how much movement, how much range of motion, how much we can push and work off of keeping that neutral in mind, right? So a lot of the times the body's going to be working as a hinge, so it's going to be really important to keep the back body in that neutral position. So let's go ahead and get started, and just walk to the top of your mat like you're walking up to a friend. Just casually stand there, greet them. Hello, how are you? Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Now, whether you want to keep your eyes closed or go ahead and open them, but just bring your attention and your awareness into your body. We're going to first take the attention down to the feet, right? And have the feet about hip distance apart and evenly press down through the edges of the feet. Keep the toes light and long. And as you press down through the feet, think of lifting the inner arches all the way up the legs to the pelvic floor. So at this point, legs should be firm. Bring your hands onto your hips, tilt the pelvis forward and backward, going away and towards the spine, just for a few pelvic tilts. And then find neutral, right? So hip points slightly come up towards the ribs, and then take those bottom ribs a little more down towards the hips. So this creates a little connection here, right? Start to move your attention up to the heads of the shoulders and take the shoulders away from the midline. So the chest broadens. Keep the weight in the back body. So the head stacks over the pelvis stacks over the heels. This is our neutral. So again, there's going to be a series of movements that we take where we're always trying to find this position. So as we start to move, right, I want you to think of digging deep down into this center, this root that we have here, right, to pull the limbs up to center, to expand, to twist and rotate wherever we may go, right, while keeping this center engagement. Go ahead and lift the arms up over the head, Urdhva Hastasana. All right, bend the knees. Chair pose, Utkatasana, right? So stay neutral in the trunk, right? But bend a little deeper through the ankles and the knees. Stay here and breathe for a few moments. All right, so where we're going to go from here is we're going to shift our weight into our right foot. We're going to draw the left knee in towards the chest, straighten the standing leg. All right, we're going to alternate from side to side, but every time that we come up, again, we're going to try and find Tadasana in the back body. All right, so take the left foot down, rebend the right knee. All right, return to chair. All right, shift to the second side. So lift the right leg up, straighten the left leg, stand. And come back to chair. So take your time, alternating from side to side, so that when you come up to stand, or when you come back to chair, again, you're finding those elements of neutral. Right? It's better to take the time so you can really fine tune where those spots in your body can really be grown on. So the next time that you come up onto the right foot, that you stand on the right foot, pause. Find that neutral. Right? Keep the gaze soft. Breathe. Right, come back to chair. Shift over to the left, draw the right knee in. Right, stand, find neutral. Return to chair. Sit a little deeper in your chair by bending deeper in the knees and deeper in the ankles. And come a bit more upright in the trunk. So tailbone reaches down to the heels, chest lifts to the sky. Press out through the feet, stand up straight. All right, so we have our blocks if you need them, but we're gonna come into a forward fold, right? So have that neutral in the back and then start to hinge at the hips. You can take the hands wide or take them at a prayer. But just come into your forward fold, all right? And allow yourself to hang, to let go of the sides of the body, the neck, the head. Bend the knees if you need to. All right, go ahead and take your arms out to a T. Right? And in one line, we're just going to lift and unhinge, right? So we're going to lift with the flat back to come up to that Tadasana with the arms out wide. Lift the arms up overhead. Find neutral, right? And then lower the arms to a T. Start to dive and fold forward, right? And as you hinge, keep the hips over the ankles. So you may start to feel like you're falling off the edge of a cliff. Come all the way down to that Uttanasana. Take the arms out and then lift up to stand. Arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Take the hands down to a T. All right, this time a little different. Shift your weight into your right leg. Send the left leg back. All right, start to hinge forward, come into Warrior Three. So same thing, but this time we just have the lifted leg. You have your blocks there to support you if you need. You can also take your arms forward onto a wall. Okay. I care more about the hips being even than the legs being straight. We're going to unhinge, come back up to stand. Take your time. And we'll move with control and ease. Switch sides. All right, so stand on the left leg, take the right leg back. Find your neutral here and then fold forward. And so when you get to your Warrior Three, right, focus more on the hips being even. Right? And what I mean by that is that right hip down in line with the left hip, or left hip up in line with the right. And when you feel confident or balanced, right, then start to play with lengthening out through the heel, right? Lengthening through the crown of the head. And come back up. Right, switch sides. A little tip for hinging is to keep a micro bend in the standing leg. Right? Keep that bend in the knee until you find that balance on the foot and in the body. And then play with extending the leg straight. Come back up. And we're going to do the left side. So keep that neutral the entire time you're traveling from upright, from horizontal to vertical, vertical to horizontal. Come back up. Take your hands to your sides. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Come into your breath. Allow all the sensations to settle. All right, extend your arms up overhead. Dive and fold forward. So lead with that flat back. Take your hands to the ground. Step back with the right foot. Step back with the left, plank pose. All right, so you could stay here in a classic plank, or you can modify and take the knees down. Regardless of where you are, find that neutral in the back, in the entire body. Right? So the back body and the front body kind of merge as one to find this length. So hip points come up to ribs, upper back narrows, and then there's this long energetic line reaching out through the heels, through the crown of the head. If you're on your knees, the energy is going to shoot through the knees and the crown of the head. We're going to play with rocking from side to side. So we're going to come into side plank on the right. Find that neutral in the body. And then come on side plank to the left. Now you can feel free to come onto your forearms, or you can have the modified plank, right, with the right knee down and back behind you, so the left foot's down on the floor. Your choice. But again, take your time and touch base with neutral in each shape. All right, give me one more on each side, and then we're all going to meet in a modified plank. All right. So in this modified plank, all right, find your neutral. Take a moment if you need to reset. Take a deep breath in. All right. From here, final challenge. We're going to bring it all together, full Monty. All right, come back to that plank. All right, draw the right knee in. All right, we're going to spin and twist and send the right leg out to the left side. All right. So in this twist, the chest is still forward onto the mat, hands under the shoulders, and the lower body is twisted. So now we're spinning off our center axis of our spine. Right? Draw the right knee back into center, step it back to plank. Left knee in, twist the low body over to the left, so the left leg shoots out. You can have the foot on the floor, or you can have it up in the air. Draw the knee back in, step back to plank. Once more on the right. And step it back. Once more on the left. All right, step back to plank. Hold here. You got this. Drop the knees. Take the toes together, knees slightly apart. Come down to a child's pose. Thighs only as wide as the sides of your chest. Bend the elbows, relax the arms. Come into your breath, right? So slow it down. Deepen the breath. Take your hands back by your knees. Right. And we're going to sit ourselves up. We're going to lead with the flat back. Take your time to get there. And come to sit up on your shins. Keep your eyes closed. And just take a few moments to integrate being back upright. Stay with the deeper breathing pattern. Go ahead and gently open up your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Again, my name is Desiree. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, I would love to hear back from you. Thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day.